Hello and welcome back. In this part 30, we are going to try to get the remaining stiffeners in place. But before we get cranked, I want to show you how to create assembly variables and use them to drive multiple parts at the same time. Okay. To create a user variable, we have to move to this tools tab and select this variables table we are already familiar with. We are going to create a variable for this dimension because it is a common dimension between these two stiffeners, and we will label it stiff dy1, and we are going to do the same for this dimension, and it will apply to these three stiffeners, and we will finish with this distance which applies to all the stiffeners. Okay, so in the variable table we are going to scroll down until the end, and now we will enter the name of the variable we want to create. So it will be stiff underscore dy1, and we know that the value is 510. Enter. You can see the variable is created. We do the same for the next one, stiff underscore dy2, and the value is 615. And the next one, stiff underscore dz. For this one, we have to do some simple math, so it will be 750 minus 150, and we will input as a formula so we can stay consistent with what is mentioned on the print. So I will enter in the formula cell 750 minus 150, and you can see the value is 600. So we will always know how we come to this value. Now we have to apply this variable to the part we want to drive from the assembly. To do that, the trick is to select the variable, then right click and select copy link. And now let me move this on the side. And now using the PS variables tools, we can select the components we want to apply the variable to, and we have a variable table only for these components. Okay, so all these parameters are specific only to this part. Okay, so we are going to look for this variable, and you can see a preview on the part as I selected the variable. So in the formula field, we will right click and paste link, and now you can see the value is now driven. The rule is paste link, and here you can see where the formula is coming from. Now we select this component, the second stiffener, and we change the same variable, so this one, and paste link again, and there it is. We are going to do the same for the other variables. So we select the variable table again for the assembly, and we are going to look for the variable we recently created. And a quick way to find the variable is to use a selection filter, and we will only display user variables. So okay, now we want to copy this one, copy link, then peer variables. We select this component again. We make sure the filter display the dimensions also, and we are going to look for this variable and right click, paste link. Again, we select this component, look for the 600 dimension, this dimension, and paste link. And now we can close and go back to the variables table. I will filter to display only users variable, and we are going to see how the components will be updated as we change the global variables. Okay, so for example, if I change this for something more dramatic, let's say minus 300, as you can see, the value is now 450, but nothing has changed on the screen. The last thing we have to do is to update all, and now you can see the components are updated. This is the best way to drive several components using the same variable, so that we don't have to enter each component to change the dimension. Okay, I will input back the value we had before and update all links, and that's it. Okay, now we can proceed and create the third stiffener. So again, we will use the steering wheel to copy this component and make sure that we are correctly aligned. We activate the move copy tool, and this time we want a 45 degrees angle from the horizontal, so that means we have to add this 30 degree to the 45 degrees, so we have 75 degrees angle of rotation. So we get this out of the way and we rotate 75 degrees, and right away we right click and more, replace path with copy, right click S3 and save. Since the ground relationship is lost, we will add a ground to the component, then escape, and we make sure that our configurations are still as we want it. So we'll activate these two components and save the configuration. Maybe I should hide the coordinate systems for these two also before I proceed. Okay, now select this one, edit in place, and as we did before, we are going to update the interpart copy. So this will be the first one. Select this component, this face, this one too. Select this component, this face, next one. Select this component, this face, and finish with this one. Select this face, and that's it. Now the intersection curve is okay already. Ctrl Q, we edit the profile. Okay, hide this. We remove this constraint, this endpoint, and this endpoint constraint. We'll move this away so that we can reuse the connect tool. Connect this endpoint to this one to this one, and the middle point or the silhouette point to the intersection curve. Okay, now we change this radius to 420, and this one will be 40 degrees. Okay, so this value will stay driven already, so no need to check that. Then close and finish. Now time to edit profile for the cutout also, and as we did previously, we just delete this one and new include, then connect constraint, connect this to this, and we look for the endpoint of this to the endpoint of this, and that's it. Zone fit, everything looks like it should, but we have to change this dimension to 615. So close, finish. The rounds are okay, and we will return to the assembly. And next we activate the variables table again, and we want this, so right click, copy link, then pierce variable, make sure that we select the correct component. So it will be this one. We will show the dimensions also, and we are looking for the 410, this one. So I've just paste link, and now we have 615. Okay, so far so good. Now the fourth one. So again, select the component using the steering wheel, make sure it is aligned correctly, and now we are just going to rotate this one 45 degrees. Just rotate 45, and right away right click, more, replace part with copy, stiffener 4, save, then home count, and then we update our display configuration, save, edit in place, Ctrl Q. Now we update, select this one and this one. For the next one, the definition, we select the second ring, this face and this face, this one, select this one, this face and this face, and for this one, this face. Okay, as usual, edit profile, number 2, Ctrl Q, we hide the interpart copies, we delete the constraint, this one too, and this one, move this away, and we add connect constraints. Look for the middle point or the silhouette, and anywhere on the intersection curve, we'll keep this value as it is, and we'll change this to 42,5, and this one should be 450. Close sketch, finish, turn off the cutout, just delete this one, and as you can see we have a problem. Okay, I'm not going to worry about right now, so we include this connect constraint from this. Okay, let me hide this first. So connect constraint from this endpoint to this one, and we're going to try to do the same for this one. Okay, so endpoint and this one. As you can see here, it will not work. So what we will do is to delete these two, and we will directly connect this endpoint to this one. Okay, so only this portion is not okay, and the reason is, let me close the sketch. So you will have this error message. You will accept to save the feature as a failed feature, and you will hit cancel. Okay, so why is this failure happening? We will activate this center part copy. You can see that here we have a gap on the sheet metal component, and since we had a collinear constraint when we were on the sketch, Solid Edge is looking for the silhouette curve and cannot find it at this location. That's why it was flipped to this position. Okay, to fix that, what we are going to do is to close the sketch again, fail feature, cancel, and we are going to go back to the enter part copy, then select it, then go to. And before I do something else, I want to apologize for the audio quality of this video. I just realized that the mic was not properly set up. I was fortunate enough to salvage what I did previously. Okay, but anyway, what we are going to do is to use the rotate face tool, and we will rotate this as we did before, 180, then OK, and cancel. Now we will hide this, and we will go back to the cutout and edit profile again, normal 2, and as you can see, the profile is now correctly computed and constrained. So we just have to close the sketch and right click to finish. And something I forgot to do for this protrusion was to make the protrusion symmetrical, so we will do that right now. So we make sure it is symmetric, extend, then 12, and finish. Okay, now we are going to go to the rounds and make sure that they are okay. First one is okay, second one, go to, and okay, and that's it. So close and return to the assembly. Now we can proceed to the next component, if I can get it in place. We select this one, and again using the steering wheel we will copy it, so I make sure that I am correctly aligned. Okay, and we make sure that we activate the copy option and rotate 45 degrees, then right click, more, save path, replace path with copy, S5, save my display configuration, also save, and make this component grounded. Now I can hide, maybe select all these components, show and hide components, coordinate system off, and deselect, save the configuration, and now we can jump in, and as usual we update the reference geometry, this one to this one, finish. Now this one to these components, this face and this face. I really wish I didn't have to update this component also, but it is how it works and update the best. This face and this face, and this one will also be this one, and we don't need the rotate, so we delete it and check the intersection. Look fine. Control Q, and now we update the protrusion profile. Number 2, we remove these constraints and we get rid of those which are on the way anyway. Connect constraint, and then middle point to like that. Then the angle should be 45, the radius 480. No change for this one, so close sketch. Now Control Q, and we make sure that the extrude is in this direction, so not symmetrical this time, this direction 12, and OK, and we can proceed for the cut. Number 2, and Control Q, remove this one. We include this, we add the constraints, this endpoint and this one, then close sketch. Now we close and return. And that's it for this part. In the next part, we are going to add the 6th stiffener, the mounting plates, and the related stiffeners. Hope to see you then, and thanks for watching.